107.5 GCI, the Shine's #1 for hip-hop and R&B. We are the Chicago Morning Takeover. Myself, Kyle, Kendra G, Leon Rodgers. And we have a guest in the studio today that we are all very excited about. She's been making her moves on the scene with music, with activism, in movies. She's so beautiful. She's here to hang out with us today. Miss Janelle Monae.
Hey, y'all.
Yes.
Hello. Good morning. I'm so excited to be here. I love y'all.
We're happy to have you. We are.
It's an understatement to say how great she looks.
Swag.
Seriously,
Oh.
you are the best dressed guest we have ever had in our whole entire, since we've been on the show for 3 years.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody topped you ever.
Oh, my goodness. Well,
She
look,
got
I'm
exclamation point earring. Dig that.
look, I'm in the Midwest. Y'all know I'm from Kansas City. So when I come here, you know, I gotta do what I can when I can.
And you did it. You did that.
Since we're speaking about how you're dressed, just for the moment, you know, your theme is black and white. You know what I mean? For the people that may not know why, like, why do you consistently stick with the black and white theme in your look?
Well, I call it my uniform. You know, my parents were working class parents. My mom was a janitor. My dad was a sanitation worker. My stepdad, who's just like my dad, worked at the post office. So it was really to pay homage to them and people who were wearing uniforms all around this world. I mean, my grandmother served food in the county jail for like 25 years. So I think it started with just wanting to pay tribute to them because they, you know, I wouldn't be sitting here with y'all today if it was not for their hard work, their love, and their belief. And then it just kind of turned into this fashion statement that people were thinking I was trying to make, but it really started with my upbringing.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So we're definitely here to talk about your brand new album, Dirty Computer. But first, I want to go to Instagram because you posted a picture of Beyonce at Coachella last weekend, and your caption said, "My queen for life, always and forever. You continuously make me feel so proud to be a black woman and an artist. We must protect you at all costs." I feel the same way, girl. I'd be like,
didn't you feel proud?
What? I want to sign up. I want to be one of the babies. Like,
absolutely.
So tell me, what is it about Beyonce as an artist that makes you mesmerized? We had a discussion earlier. Would you say Beyonce is better than Michael Jackson? We're saying, I think we got this discussion. Greatest entertainer of all time, or right there?
Well, one, let me start with your first question.
Okay.
I felt really, really proud as a black woman and an artist. Beyonce has paved the way, you know, not just for me, but for so many artists, in particular, black women. You know, she's creative, and what she's doing right now is she's making sure that people know who she's celebrating. And I just feel like she's teeing us up to continue to show black excellence. Like, I don't feel like I need to half step with my album, with my project, with my performances, because she's given so much. She's teed us all up to continue on. I think that Michael Jackson is Michael Jackson and Beyonce is Beyonce.
Okay.
And I don't think that they should be compared. I think she shows love and respect to Michael Jackson. He paved the way for her, for me, for all of us, to be excellent as entertainers. And I think that they're separate.
Right.
And I don't think that's fair.
Well said.
First of all, you're one of the most photogenic people I've ever seen in life. Like, every picture I see of you, I'll just be like, damn, like, can she take a bad picture? Like,
look, I have my days.
You do?
I
Okay. I would have to, like, I literally have to see that.
Please.
So, let's talk about, you seem like a creative vibes person. You seem like it's all about vibes with you. When you're working on anything, whether it be movies or in the studio working on music, what do you pull from? What part of the cosmos do you pull from? Because I mean,
it depends on what it is that I'm working on. I mean, with this album, Dirty Computer, I had this concept and this title before I even released my first album. So I knew I was going to release it as my third album. And I think when I went to do Hidden Figures and I went to do Moonlight, 2 movies that I was in a couple years ago last year, it made me want to tell my story more, to dig deeper into who I was, to come from a very honest and vulnerable place. And I just allowed, you know, certain things that were upsetting to me, that were exciting to me, all inspired this process and inspired. I mean, when you have songs like Django Jane out, you know, that was a direct response to the sting of what it feels like to be called a bitch for the first time, you know, by a man. The sting of what it feels like to have your rights as a woman trampled on. When you turn on the news, when you see, you know, that 1% 1%, with this administration, this leader of the free world, speaking in the way that he's speaking, the sting of what that feels like, to feel like your parents who were service workers not be represented in the conversation. The poor stay poor, rich keep getting rich. I mean, so those are just a few of the things. But I think I was inspired to just tell the truth from my lens, regardless of who believes in it or not, or agrees with me or not. I think I had a responsibility to honesty.
You're talking about a song, Django Jane. But you've released a few songs already off this new project, Dirty Computer. We got to talk about the pants in the pink video and the vagina pants. Everybody's referring to them as.
Some people say that. Some people say they're flowers. Some people say that they're vulva. It's up to your interpretation.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was there any particular thing that you were trying to get across, a point you were trying to make with those pants?
It's a celebration of women. I mean, when you look at the pants, as much as it's about the pants, it's not just about that.
Right.
But we can stay there for a minute. Every woman who has on those pants has on a different kind. Mm-hmm. There are some women who don't have on the pants. I mean, we can dig deeper into, what those things mean. But I think it was about celebrating the uniqueness of women and seeing when we all come together how magical that looks. It was coming from a very black girl magic place. Yes. Honestly, I mean, to be honest, I wanted to showcase a variety of women. Obviously, there's so many types of us. I can't get everybody in.
Shades, right? Yeah.
But I think you understood that it was coming from a personal experience, at the same time allowing us to be seen together and united, and that was a beautiful thing to me.
I'm just imagining a set designer saying, "You want what? Vagina pants."
Where did we get them from?
No, everybody was on board. Actually, some guys made them. Nice. So yeah, men were absolutely involved in celebrating women because women's rights and us, we're part of human rights. And I think it's about us all protecting each other.
Right. Yeah. How do you love the time that we're in right now, where it's like finally, I don't want to say finally women have a voice, but it's almost like you say finally women have a voice, where now what we're saying is being taken seriously, and we're seeing repercussions from women being treated unfairly. I forget where you were at. You were at was it an award show? You talked about this. You had
the Grammys?
Yes, the Grammys. And you said something real powerful. So how do you feel right now about the movement that's happening when it comes to women and what's going on with the energy in the world?
I feel proud. I feel like it's necessary. I think it's important that we have organizations like Time's Up and the Me Too movement. I think that for far too long, I'll just speak because I am in the music industry, women have not felt protected because we have a culture where, to be quite frank, we have a whole soundtrack that can disrespect women. Like if you listen to lyrics, you walk in rooms, we're not always the majority in the rooms. It's male dominated. And I don't think every man, wants to disrespect a woman or sexually harass a woman, or try and rape a woman or be inappropriate with a woman. That's not every man, but it happens. And I think it's important that we talk about it. We figure out how, as men and women, we work together to stop it, to create environments where we feel safe, to create more opportunities for women. I think that's ultimately important too, just making sure that people know, like, hey, we're here. It's not like we don't have the talent, but we can be CEOs. We should be in the rooms, because there's so many women artists who are coming in that when women are not in the rooms, we're not getting both sides of what young girls need when they're coming into the industry. So I think it's just an overall focus on the abuse of power, saying that, hey, it's not just happening in Washington with the president. It's not just happening in the movie industry. It's happening in our industry too. And what can we do? How can we've made some mistakes in the past. Let's not try to sweep it under the rug. Let's figure out how we work together to solve these issues systemically.
Yeah. The album Dirty Computer comes out next Friday on April 27th. Before we dig into that really quick, I just want to revisit the fact that you mentioned that you were in those two movies last year with Moonlighting and, of course, Hidden Figures. You were so great in you were great in what you do, but I really gravitated towards Hidden Figures. And I thought you were so awesome in the movie. And it's one of those things where we haven't seen you on a big screen and acting. So we're kind of like wondering, what's your background and, how easy of a transition was that for you?
Well, my background is in
As far as
theater
acting,
and
I'm sorry,
music.
yeah.
I studied acting. I went to the American Musical and Dramatics Academy after high school, and I grew up being a artsy little nerdy kid. I mean, my after school programs, I studied Shakespeare. It kept me out of trouble too. You know, there was a lot going on. There was sometimes you would go in after the summer and one of your friends are killed, you know, because of the gun violence in Kansas City. And it's a great city. It was nurturing for me in the artist community. I did talent showcases every semester, every summer. My mama was driving me to go compete somewhere. So music and acting, I've grown up doing, and so much so that like I don't think it clicked for my mom until I got in Hidden Figures and I was in Moonlight. She was just like, I've always watched you do both. And the fact that you're just focused on music, you know, something was missing. So I feel complete when I'm doing both. I think you can do both. I think when you feel emotionally connected to a story, like I did with Hidden Figures, I mean, I didn't know about these women. I didn't know that there were 3 black women, and there were women in general who were directly responsible for getting John Glenn, the first American astronaut, into space. Without their calculations, without them doing that math by hand, if it was off 1 decimal, he would have died.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It could have gone wrong. And so these are American heroes, and they're black women.
Yeah, very dope.
What would be your ultimate movie role? Like if you could play somebody in a biopic or something, who would it be and why?
That's so hard. I have so many people. Like speaking what made me want to do Hidden Figures was because I was a huge fan, and I still am, of Mae Jemison. She was the first black woman to go to space. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I would love to like honor her on screen. Like this was the 90s.
Yeah.
So like what was it like in the world? What was going on with black people? What was going on in music? What was she into when she like what was going through her mind when she knew that she was going to be the first black woman? Was she even thinking about that? Like I just think she's interesting to me.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, I would love to do like a Love Jones-esque film.
Sultry,
you know,
sexy
celebrating
vibes.
black love and like making it progressive.
Yeah.
I would love to do something like that. I have a lot of roles. I love Lena Horne.
Ooh,
her.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
I love her.
I can see that. Yeah.
She was badass, man. Like she was really like ahead of her time. And so, I mean, I can go on and on. And on. I mean, but let's talk about Black Panther.
Yes.
Oh, Wakanda forever.
Can we talk about that? I mean,
Absolutely.
I've always been into science fiction, and so to see like this Afrofuturistic film kill everybody in the box office gave me hope. It was like I've been speaking about just the future in so much of my work, and to see that this predominantly black cast is still kicking ass in the box office.
Yeah.
It let me know that we don't have to just be, you know, pushed into one genre. We can do it all. We can do blockbuster movies. We can do superhero movies. We get to see us in the future, and we could be as magical as we want to be.
It was so much to love about that movie, from the empowerment of the women, the Dora Milaje.
Oh
they
my
was
God,
insane.
the Dora Milaje.
They was beasts.
Inspired my song Django Jane. I wrote that.
And the fact that Black Panther had no vices. He wasn't a womanizer. He was just a strong black man that cared about his country and was really torn.
If Barack Obama had a son, it would have been. That's
it would have. And how we miss Barack.
Oh,
I mean, I'm in Chicago. Like, I don't know if he's here or Michelle, but I love y'all. I performed a lot at the White House, and I don't think I'm going back anymore anytime soon. But I just want to say shout out to Barack and to Michelle, forever my first lady and my president.
That's right. I said the same thing.
All right, so let's take it to the album. Next week, Dirty Computer comes out 4/27.
Yes.
You're excited about it. You know what I mean? What are your expectations, or do you have expectations? What are people looking forward to hearing from Dirty Computer?
Dirty Computer. Well, you know, it's a pretty vulnerable and honest album. I think it is celebratory of all the Dirty Computers. I mean, if you think about it, we come from the dirt, and when we go, in my opinion, we'll go back to the dirt, right?
Okay.
And then if you think about our brains, they're CPUs. We have computers that are transmitting information, that are uploading and downloading information all the time. And some of us, just our genetic code may come with bugs and viruses. And if you think about what bugs and viruses mean in a human, some would say that loving the same sex is a virus or a bug, and you need to be cleansed of that. Being black, being African American, your very skin, you need to be cleansed of that. It's not acceptable. It can get you killed. If you think about coming from a poor community, classism could also be looked at as a bug or a virus. That's just to name a few. And so I posed the question on the album, are bugs and viruses negatives? Or are they positives? Are they features? Are they attributes? Do they help make this society and make this world a better place? Because when we're coming together in the melting pot that is America, this is the land of the free. We're supposed to be coming here and learning from each other. And so as a dirty computer, myself, this album is for us. This is to celebrate us, to make sure that we're seen and we're heard.
So we're all dirty computers, because we all have issues, not necessarily issues, but vices, I guess, that people would say, oh, that's bad or that's wrong. So in essence, this album is for everybody.
It can be.
Okay.
Yeah, it can be. I think it is rooted in love, though. I don't think that, this is an album that is for anybody who wants to take lives or who feels like, well, because of my religious beliefs, I'm a dirty computer, so I got bugs and viruses, so this is an album rooted in love. We can agree to disagree. We can come from different places and not understand each other, but hopefully through this album, through talking about the songs, through listening to the songs, coming to the concerts, when we meet each other, we empathize more. And it's just, this is a story from a black woman's lens, and maybe there's a cis conservative white man who listens to this album and feels a deeper connection to want to protect black women more than ever.
No doubt.
Well, you just blew my mind with that explanation, because I thought dirty computer meant I had to check my history on my browser.
You do,
and get all that stuff out of there for my mama using.
But it does. But it does.
I was
right.
like, whoo.
But no, I think this
roll
album.
one and hear that again.
I think simply put, this album is through an American lens, and it's to help celebrate the marginalized, those who are pushed to the margins of society. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So today is 420, and some are celebrating today in a special way. And I don't. Are you going to be celebrating 420 by any means? And
We celebrate having these allergies.
Yeah. It helps with that.
You were saying, do I smoke?
no, yeah.
No, I don't smoke. I don't smoke, but I don't
either.
have anything against it
Right.
at all. I think that, with the legalization of marijuana in certain states, I have cousins who are still in prison right now.
Yeah.
Because of it. And I think if we're gonna make it legal, we need to go back and we need to let everybody out.
I agree.
Exactly.
I've been saying that.
I do feel sad for those who, were doing it at a time when it wasn't legal, and now it's legal and people are getting paid off of it. People who have benefited from the economy for many of years and decades. I think that we should reconsider, letting those who have cases from selling marijuana out.
Right.
We'll
Yeah.
definitely salute you and
Yeah.
pay homage.
I think that's fair.
Yes.
I mean, come on, man.
How do you feel about everything that's going on with Starbucks? The 2 black men got arrested in Philadelphia.
Man, it's upsetting. It's angering. And I think that I hear that I haven't had time to really read it because I've been in a different city every day trying to promote Dirty Computer. But I did see that they were like doing a class or stopping Starbucks.
They're going to shut down
for-
like 8,000
Yeah, tell me
Starbucks
about
stores, and they're going to give their employees racial bias training.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
They need to be educated. Yeah, man, we have to educate each other, and we have to also, this is my motto, is listen, not to just respond, but listen to understand.
Right.
And I think that if they're listening to understand and they're not trying to just protect themselves or be defensive about what happened, I think we'll be in a better like place to make sure that doesn't happen again. Yeah.
I love it. We are so excited. I love all the music that we have. Okay, so your album's coming out next Friday. I saw you with Cardi B. You're a big Cardi B fan?
Yes, I love Cardi B.
Okay, what do you love about Cardi B?
Man, she's herself. She is, she's an underdog. I love a good underdog story. I think people counted her out, and I think she's proven, especially with this new album, that she's here to stay.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to have as many different varieties of women in the pop world especially like Black women, women of color, as possible. I think we come in so many different sizes, shapes, attitudes, and I think it's important. Representation is important. She represents something special. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
Dirty
no
Computer
question.
is out in a week, 7
That's
days
right.
from now.
Yes, I'm so excited, and it's also coming not with just an album, but it's going to have a visual component.
Okay.
Over 40 minutes of content. People will call it like a short film, or some people will call it a visual album, but I call it an emotion picture.
Got you.
So when you get the album, please watch it. It'll be on
Emotion
TV too.
picture. That's dope.
So follow me
Okay.
on my Twitter, Janelle Monae. All of that, I'm going to make sure that you guys know where you can watch it.
Okay, that sounds
And
good.
last but not least, where can I buy the outfit? This ain't out of Kara.
Oh my
We
goodness!
can't get
custom.
this.
Listen,
This ain't no
That's
Fashion
custom.
Nova.
I've had this
That's
coat
custom.
for a few. I like Fashion Nova. They got some cute stuff.
They do. I like Fashion Nova too.
Yeah, I'm like,
But I
okay.
can't get that from Fashion Nova.
No, you can buy this in the stores. Like, this is just my coat that I packed because somebody was like, it's going to be cold, and I didn't get a chance to talk to my stylist to pull me something, and this is my own coat. I think this is like Kate Spade or something.
Oh,
Case paid.
Yeah.
A lot of money. Janelle, quick question before you go.
Yeah.
Going on a deserted island, you're never coming back. You could take 3 albums, can't be a compilation.
Oh, my goodness. Come on now. This is like choosing what finger I should keep.
Right.
I got to take Stevie Wonder.
Which one?
Which one?
Can't be a compilation. Gotta give me an album.
Songs in the Key of Life.
Okay.
Purple Rain by Prince.
2.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This is hard. I'm probably going to change. I know I can't change my mind because I love all these people. What album makes me not feel so alone? The Miseducation of Lauren.
I was
Hill.
gonna
There
say
it
that's
is.
my
That's
number
pretty
one.
solid.
Miss
That's
Ed
solid.
Yep.
Yeah,
Got a
I
little
think
hip-hop.
Songs in the Key of Life.
Yeah.
Prince.
Yeah, that's a gamut of
Yeah.
emotions
Yeah,
right there.
that's like, okay, I'm in a world, because these artists to me are transcendent. Like I get a feeling that, wherever Prince is right now, wherever Stevie Wonder will go, wherever Lauryn Hill will go, that's where you want to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just feel like they have a higher consciousness. Speak today. And their work will make an impact on people even after they're gone.
Lauryn Hill's actually going on tour for 20 years of Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
I'm
20
going
years later,
on
she's
tour.
going on tour, a world tour now because of the album.
I'm gonna be right there.
Yes.
I want to see. I have to see that.
Janelle, you're so like, I don't know. I feel like sitting next to you, like I'm at peace. Like, like,
Really?
I don't,
It's relaxing.
Like,
Thank you, man.
Yeah, you have a great spirit about yourself.
Thank you.
And
You
voice.
come off very, I don't know the word. I just feel at peace when I'm sitting next
Thank
to you,
you,
right?
man. Likewise, y'all all have just great vibes.
But look,
I'm happy to be
when
here.
You're muse-like. Like, I want to go write some jokes or something right now. I'm in a creative
Yes.
space.
But you
Stay
did talk
creative.
about growing up, in a from humble beginnings, and it makes me wonder, like, has Janelle Monae ever had a problem with somebody? Has Janelle Monae ever had to knock a chick out? You ever had to throw them hands one time?
Yeah, I've had fights. Listen, when you come from, the Midwest,
Right.
or you come from I'm going to speak for Kansas City. When you
Okay.
come from Kansas City, you do have to protect yourself. I mean, I definitely have been bullied. I wrote about it or not even bullied, but just like,
Put in situations.
felt like you needed to protect yourself, but not a lot though. I think I was so driven and focused, like I didn't have time for that.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to be fighting. And these days, like, I'm trying to fight patriarchy.
Yeah.
I don't have time to be bickering with other women or men it's just so, it's like we need to be voting. Like, it's bigger issues right now.
Right.
We have somebody in office that just does not give a fuck about us, period. And has made it very clear. And we have a lot at stake. So I just try to put my energy into things that really matter.
No doubt,
Yeah.
no question.
love
Well, we appreciate you being here today. We were all very excited for you to come in, and it's been a pleasure to meet you, and we wish you continued success in everything that
Thank
you're
you.
doing, and hopefully you'll come back and visit us again.
Man,
here in Chicago.
absolutely. I'll be back.
I'm not sure if it's on the album because I haven't heard it yet, Dirty Computer, but you should remake Computer Love.
I love that.
Like, Dirty
Is
Computer,
that,
Computer Love.
Dirty
The-
Rodgers
yeah,
from
Rodgers,
Zapp.
Dirty Computer
Zapp and
Love.
Rodgers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love them.
You might have to remake that and add it to the
Yes.
album too. It might make sense.
They're inspirations, absolutely.
Yes,
All
okay.
right, no question. All right, Chicago, there she is, man. She's out here doing great things, and we just love and appreciate everything you're doing. Janelle Monae in the
Yes.
studio.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you. Love y'all.
She's drinking Fiji water. I gotta write this out because
I
I need
gotta
that. I
drink
need
some
that
water.
skin.
Look.
I need that skin. Whatever
You gotta
secret
stay
she
Yeah,
has.
hydrated.
that's not Fiji in there though. That's unicorn blood.
You know what?
Clear unicorn blood.
It could be angel tears.
You know what I'm saying?
Angel sweat.
Nice. There it is, man. WGCI.